Hello and welcome. My name is Manuel Quintana with Pragmatic Works, and in collaboration with MAQ Software, we're bringing you today's video to showcase their custom visual known as the text enhancer. Now this gives a lot of love and attention to the text that we'll find in our reports, where primarily a lot of emphasis is around the metrics, the measures, the categorical data itself, how they're used in collaboration within things like bar charts, column charts. A lot of times we will have, from an organizational perspective, text there. And there's not too many enhancements that come out of the box with Power BI. But that's where the text enhancer shines. Namely, one of the best features is just built-in word wrapping, but we're going to see we have tons of formatting capabilities for the text itself. So we're going to take a look at this custom visual, the text enhancer by MAQ Software, and we're actually going to compare it side by side to what we have natively available within Power BI itself. So let's go take a look. So in this Power BI report, we're actually leveraging some of the default capabilities here in the top box. In here, we actually have two different visuals to accomplish this. We have first just a text box, which is what we've written in here, as you can see, this item 4, and I'm going to have to select out because we're using multiple, but here we can see we have this text box. And I actually have it all the way here, question, all the way to this colon. This other item actually is a multi-card row right here. So that's what this is displaying. It's a combination of the two. And you can see as we move through these respective items, depending on the length of it, it's not able to dynamically handle the length, and it just adds a ... at the end of however far it can get. At the very bottom, we can see right away that the text enhancer is able to handle this seamlessly. Not only that, it's just the text enhancer. We actually have a prefix in here, which is going to be question, and we've added the ability to add in a colon, but we can do so much more. It is meant to handle a singular row of data. Now that could be a longer amount of text itself. That's what it's great for things like descriptions, responses from surveys are quite fantastic. But you'll notice if we deselect the slicer itself, right here, it's telling us query returned more than one row. Please filter the data to return. And if we wanted to, it has wrapped it down below. We can see it's right there. So by leveraging this, we do need to have some way to filter this down so it illustrates. And you'll notice you can see in this case, because range went out of the scope of what we have here, it's gone ahead and wrapped that around. Much easier to handle, much easier to maintain. And you're going to see as we go through the format pane, you can see there's only one area to map as far as in the field. But when we go through the format pane, there are so many different variations that we can do with our text itself. As you can see here, we've got various different font styles, overline, underline, strike through is a fun one that's not traditionally available to us. We also have various different alignments, making it easy, horizontal, pretty standard. We also have vertical alignments. We can switch perspectives, giving it that slanted kind of look and feel. We can also skew that so it has some angling to that, as well as shadowing and highlighting. Lots and lots of features all available to us right here within the format area. So if we go here, I'll start and just select one of these items in the font styles. We can see that we start with the text settings, and this is where we can have various items such as text color, transparency, size. This is also where we'll find the horizontal alignment and also potentially the vertical alignment if we so choose. You can see we have some of the more traditional ones noted here. We also have text direction. This is where we see this option for directions here. Top down is standard, and you can inverse it with bottom up, or you can also switch it to vertical on either direction. And you can see representations of that here in this section right here in the center. We could do some additional line spacing and custom letter spacing if we so choose. And we also have the ability here to switch the perspective and the rotation. And you can see as soon as I change the perspective, it'll get this slant on there. So if we select here, for instance, you can see in this scenario, as the more that we increase this, we'll give it a moment, the more angle it's given. And that's what we're talking about when we talk about perspective. Standard, and give it a little slant there. Here we're witnessing what we're doing with the skewing. So we can just do 10 degrees here. Here's a -10 in this scenario. And we also, of course, if we continue, that's all that we have in the text settings, but we also have items in the prefix. Because as we remember, in the text enhancer, we had this item, question. Well, what we're seeing is the usage of a prefix. So you can see here, where do we want this, pre or suffix? So you can do a pre or post. And then what do we want? I just put question, and then this is a toggle whether we would like the colon to appear or not. So a lot of great features readily available to us at our disposal. We can also access the highlighting elements, the shadowing, which we saw here in the upper right corner of this example. You can add shadowing, choosing the color, and also the location, which is a little bit different, non-standard that we have. Where do we want the shadow? Bottom center, and then bottom right, middle left, all these different choices. You can see that's how it's laid out behind us. We have various different locations for this shadow in this example just here. So much more that we now have at our disposal when it comes to text. The Text Enhancer by MAQ Software really gives us a lot of capability and more, and just has a robust set of tools so we can take advantage and make the most of the text that we are using in our Power BI reports. Well, thanks for watching our video. If you have any questions about this visual or need a similar business solution, feel free to contact MAQ Software at sales@maqsoftware.com. As well, for any of your Power BI training needs, be sure to reach out to us at Pragmatic Works by emailing training@pragmaticworks.com.